Guys, I know it's good news on this. Everything's good. But I'll tell you in a minute. The bad news, you see what I did wrong? See, I'm looking at? That's what happened when I cranked it up once. So what I have to do to take this off and recut the pipe, that's probably what to do. See where it bent off this thing? The best bet is probably, I need to cut it off here and redo the tie wrap. That's probably what to do. Take off this bolt. The best bet is probably cut it off right here with a hacksaw. That's probably what I have to do. And we're probably going to lose at least 39 feet. We'll go probably down to 38 feet. That's probably what to do now. I'm probably to unravel all this duct tape. As long as I did not JB weld this, thank God. Now, I only JB weld the ones to the top, but we probably have to cut this pipe right about here. We have to know what bad hard it is. All this is pull this out and cut it with a hacksaw on the ground and re-drill these 3 holes again. That's probably what I have to do. And I got all this stuff to connect it, but we can do it like that. But the bad point we have to make, we'll probably have to move it further down to the holes and probably have to re-drill them. So that's the bad news about it right now. And that's the only thing. What happened? It bent the pipe, but there's got to be a way to unbend it, push down. See, it's holding it right there. It's all loose up. So I hope the antenna mount is not bent. This is the main thing that lifts it up. The antenna mount is fine. It's no problem. This antenna mount is not bent on the bottom. This is what happened when I cranked it up, guys. But if you guys want to help me out, maybe Dallas can come out here and help me out somehow. But we got to do something. I was trying to get this on today, but this pipe is bent, and I'm trying to get this out of here to pull it out. My best is probably to pull it out. My best is take this off and pull this out from the bottom. Then maybe we'll get it, because this is what happened when it bent. I might have to re-drill the same holes again. And the best way how we're going to do that is re-slide this pipe back in there and re-drill it back in, put the safety clamps on. That's the only thing that's going to happen. We have to lower this down to the bottom. It's actually bent in the air right now. That's the problem I have right now, what's happening. I was trying to get it up today, and that's what happened when it cranked up and it leaned this way. That's what it did. If I would have pulled it with ropes pretty hard back, it probably would have been avoided. That's probably what I should have went tight on the rope. But that's what happened, because it's 39 foot. This is not bent. This part is not bent. This didn't bend up here on the top. That's the bad news I have. Everything's fine on the ground, but I hope this thing's not broken. So it's probably not. Probably what I have to do, it'll be okay. It's not going to be breaking on the ground, but this is the bad news I have right now. I did everything right last night and this morning to duct tape all the stuff, to loosen the wire. Now we have to do something about this problem around here. You guys can see it right here where it's bent. You see what I'm looking at, having problems? It's usually this pipe is bent on the other end. My best is recut and re-drill it. And try again. And maybe we could drill it right here a few meters off. My best is pull this pipe out. And maybe that's how we can do it. I don't know what we have to do now. But I might have to pull it out, see if we can get it out this way. And this is very bad when it's bent. It bent pretty bad down here. And the best way is probably to pull this whole pipe out and retry again. And the bad point, I have to get all this duct tape like I did before, but I don't want to touch this part here. But my best bet is probably to do this again and try again. It's the only way it will do that. But I did a few days ago. I've been working on this for all day until this started to snap. I couldn't do that much further. My best is probably recut this out and re-slide this back in. You guys can see it. I'll show you in a minute. There's got to be a way to unbend this the way it is. I think it can be unbent, but that's what happened when it did. So it's loosened up. So we probably have to recut this pipe off a few feet. And my best is probably, maybe I can cut it right here. Maybe cut it right here. And maybe we could pull it out this way. That's probably my best bet, to cut it right here with a hacksaw before we do anything. because I don't have a saw that cuts fast, but that's probably the best bet I have to do to cut this out. Then re-unbolt this kind of crap and try again. And that's my best bet, and tie plenty of rope so from keeping from bending from the top. Because mostly I only doing this all by myself. If someone would have looked on the other end, that probably could have been avoided. But my best bet is try to tie one of these guy ropes on it. Maybe we could tie it all the way to a tree and fence and go really tight on it. Maybe that's what'll work. But I got bad news out there. The antenna's looking fine, but this is a totally bent failure here. My best is cut off a few feet and get it around 37, 38 feet. It's out 39 feet at this rate. I didn't know that was going to happen to me, but this is a pipe you get at Lowe's, and this is the big antenna mount here. The antenna mount doesn't look very bent at all, because it didn't bend the antenna mount, because this looks pretty good shape. So I don't know what I have to do now, but I might have to cut off this pipe here with a hacksaw soon. It'll be okay. That's my best bet to do it, to avoid a loss. And maybe I'll cut it off here where right about here would be my best bet. And maybe we can cut it off a few meters right here. Then we can re-drill the 3 holes again, like the same position before, and slide this pipe back in. We have to move the antenna further toward me, but it's not, we're going to lose a few feet when we do this. We're probably going to be down like 37 feet. But we cannot let this happen again. So if you ever guys had this kind of problem, let me know what I could do. My best is take this out and cut the pipe off, hacksaw it. But let me show you guys what happened, so you guys get a good glimpse. That's what happened when I cranked up the crank up today. So we'll try to do this again soon. I hope I do it before the winter hits. But drilling takes a whole... These are probably the easiest to drill. They're pretty the easiest drill, but it is bent like crap. My best is probably cut it off right here and redo this again, all the same thing I did before. I'll probably be working all week to do this to get this thing going. We're probably going to lose a few feet. We'll have to move. What we do, have to leave this thing on the ladder, cut it off with the hacksaw, make sure it does not kick me back. Then we'll slide this pipe back in. We'll get into the right thing and re-drill them. That's the way I do them. That's my best bet to do it. And that's how we're going to do it. I'll make sure this thing's tightened up before we do any hacksaw cutting, what I'm going to do. And I'll make sure I'll do that later today. So I was trying to get this up today, and this is what I came. I don't think this antenna mount is bent, because it looks like it's bending down here. But this antenna mount is still okay. I don't think it's bent here. I don't think it looks bent. This looks more like the top is bent. We'll have to look at it. We'll check this out. We'll just take all this out. We're probably going to do it tomorrow when this rain stops. I might do it today when this all done. I hope the rain stops and I can do this right now to cut this off, this bad end. And I probably will cut it off right about here, a few feet, not down here. I'm going to get past the bending part. We got to look at where it bends. So then you pull this out and redo the drill thing again. And that's how we're going to do it. And put the safety clamps back on. A good thing I have some plenty of duct tape. I'm trying to see what we can do without this. But I'm trying to see. So it looks pretty straight right there. So we probably have to cut off right about here. And I'll probably do that soon. And tighten this back up. And we can redo this. And we can do. I don't think the pipe is bent. I'm taking a look at this right now. It's bending like that because we'll have to look at what happened. I don't think the whole mountain's bent. It looks pretty straight to me. I'll stand back so you guys can see it to give you an idea what I have to do. So the height looks pretty straight right there. It doesn't look like it's bent on the mount. That's the important thing that makes the whole thing work. It didn't bend the mount. It bent this part here. We're probably going to be around 37 feet and probably around 37 feet or 38 feet when we cut off a few feet. And we're going to redo it again, and we're going to make sure it's really bolted better this time. And we'll probably have to tighten this up with the meal tape we can do, and pull it all the way back from the one of the guy wires. We got to tie it all the way back to the fence to keep it from falling. But we have to try again, and we'll have to recut it off, re-drill this, and get it slided in there. That's what we're going to do. And the problem is maybe we could put this antenna on an 8-foot mount. We'll have to put some towel in there to get the 8-foot mount on it. Then we can slide that back in there and re-drill it pretty easily. It's going to take a while to drill, but I got to put it in those same holes again. That's the only thing I do. And take all this duct tape off and re-unbolt everything. Before I do that, I'll cut off the height before I do anything. Right about here. Then we put the rope back up here in this position, and we have to do it much better this time. But I hope we can get this thing working soon. I got to work on this really hard and make sure I don't do this. I hope to God this pipe is not bent. It doesn't look bent because it was trying to lift up, but we got to make sure we don't want to bend any more of this pipe. Again, it probably because there's way too much weight on the side. We'll have to cut it off a few feet right here, and we're probably going to do that. So I'll catch you guys later, and I'll see you guys on OTR tonight. Thanks for bringing that contest to me, but either way, UDX 362 East Tennessee, but I'm telling you, we're okay. We'll have to try again, and I'll probably do. I got the hacksaw for that because like the Harbor Freight hacksaw. I'm going to cut it off and do that and re-drill those things and try again. And we'll hope to God we don't bend this type of piece again. Either way, there's got to be a way to keep it from bending it. And I did it all myself by cranking it up. That's what happened, guys. And as well, I hit it around 39 feet. That's what it was. It bends at that rate. We probably have to do this. The antenna mount looks okay, but we need to crank this up and recut the hacksaw on it where the straight line is. And this doesn't look bent at all. But we had to figure that out. But we got to prevent it from bending again. It probably was too much weight on the end. Probably have to cut off a few feet of the pipe. So we're going to probably cut it off right here. Get it straightened away. We'll be alright. But this is what did it to me when it happened. Now I'm probably have to drill these 4 holes or 3. But I got 3 holes in it, but we have to probably make sure we need to tighten the rope really hard, way back there. And we got to tie it really hard back the way. We can use a cinder block to do it. But we need to tie it really hard to this rope. We got to tie it really hard when I do this, so we'll not yank it out or bend. And mostly we could tie the guy wires when we pull it way back there, and maybe we could try something like that. But I hope this doesn't happen again. That's what I'm saying. And that's what it's been. Maybe we'll have to put something under here to lift this up a little better, like an 8-foot ladder. That will keep it from bending it. But this is going to take me some time to re-drill this. And right now, we'll just have to cut it off right here to loosen the weight off and pull this pipe, get this thing pulled out, and that's what we have to do. So UDX 362, East Tennessee, catch y'all later.